So you could do like various things like this. And so I got 13,625, but look, it reset when the new enemy spawned in. So there is that. By the way, I just did that. That was the first time I ever did that variation of that combo. This game just flows with you, bro. Like whatever you can think of or want to try out, it f***ing works. And it feels amazing. They have gold on their hands with this combat system, I swear. Final Fantasy 16 has officially released and is available worldwide right now for everybody to play. And for the most part, it seems like everybody is enjoying themselves besides a select few video game journalists who also might benefit from this video. I'm here to talk to you guys about the best possible addition to this game, and I think a lot of these action style games should be considering to include these in their titles in the future. For more updates and coverage of Final Fantasy 16 as well as insane guides, which are on the way, guys, trust me, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that and help raise that 21% even higher. Now with that being said, let's get into the video. Training mode is one of those things in Final Fantasy 16 that a lot of people, maybe everybody, needs to take full advantage of. While we are great at various things, there are some things that we're not so great at. Me personally, my defense and dodging needs a little bit of work in this game. However, my offense has been pristine. But that's not saying much because this game does offer a lot of combo routes and crazy ass possibilities off of all of its moves that there's no one definitive route to take when it comes to combat in this game. I've been getting a lot of comments in regards to the combat mechanics and guides that are upcoming for it, and don't worry, I am working on those as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get the game until the day before it released, so I didn't really get much time into it. However, I think the most important thing that we need to start off talking about without going into advanced combat or any of those crazy guides is the training mode. And you'll unlock training mode pretty early into the game. I'd say about within the first 2 hours. Once you get to the hideaway here, you'll notice that I'm a few hours into the game already. If you want to check out my playthrough, it's actually live on the channel right now. You can see up to date currently where I'm at, and I'm constantly uploading episodes for you guys to enjoy. But as soon as you get to the hideaway, you'll be tasked with exploring, getting to know where everything is essentially. When you get to the quest where you have to interact with Karen, she's going to require that you go over to the stone over here and pick up some sacks. And it will also let you be introduced to the Areti stone. And the Areti stone, when you click on it, basically takes Clive out of the world of Valisthea and just lets him refine his craft and do various things like the Hall of Virtue, which is the training area, or the arcade mode, which allows you to replay stages and a fun, try to get the high score sort of element. And of course, stage replay. If you want to replay certain stages, you could full on go ahead and do that as well. But we're talking about the Hall of Virtue, aka the training mode. And there's a lot of things that you can do in this that will help improve your craft overall. So when you come into training mode, you'll be faced off against the Virtual Mugger, which is basically the first goblin enemy that you come across in the entire game. If you look on the bottom right, there are actually training options to access with the touchpad on the PlayStation controller. You can hit that and it'll bring up a bunch of training options that you can access on. So we're gonna go through a couple of them real quick. The input display, you can turn that on. It'll show you a miniature PlayStation controller on the bottom right, where you can see what inputs people are hitting. This is really good for like combo videos, and essentially if you're watching a streamer practice combos and stuff, you can see exactly what buttons they're hitting just to get the timing down, because some people are visual learners. Take a little bit of time to get more comfortable with that aspect. There's also the action log, which if you're familiar with fighting games, this is definitely something pretty cool. On the bottom left, you can see there's actually a it actually shows you what combos you currently are doing, what moves you're inputting. So it's pretty crazy. You can do Burning Blade, down thrust, all kinds of different stuff is being showcased on whatever person in training mode is doing. So this is really cool for keeping track of combo routes and things that you can be doing to like hit that. Jumps aren't included on there, which is interesting, but there is that. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Oh, look, actually, they do show stomps. So if somebody does a stomp in a combo, that actually will show up, which is pretty cool. Up next, invincibility. You can actually make Clive invincible, which, I mean, I would turn this on. You got nothing to lose with, I guess, having it on or having it off, but whatever. You could just have it on. Either that or regen if you want to restore HP over time. And of course, you notice Clive is in here by himself and he doesn't have Torgal commands, but you could actually put Torgal in here, which is really cool. And there's also this thing called sick timing. So with Torgal, a lot of people probably aren't utilizing him to the way that the game wants you to use him. So after certain moves, you could actually sick Torgal on the enemy. Instead of like, you know, doing it like this, see Torgal just like jumps in and does like a regular attack, right? If you do it after, let's say, we'll do a magic burst after a lunge. See, Torgal lights up and he does a little bit of a howl right there. And he doesn't do it on regular commands. Dude, it's so sick. If you're late with it, he'll just do that. But with the perfect timing, he literally holds them in place for some crazy good combos and potential in this game. At the end of your final slash, there's also a moment to like send Torgal out. If you press down, he'll slam them down. By the way, with Torgal in regards to him, if you press down from a neutral standing point, he'll launch them up. And from a neutral standing point, if you press up, he'll do a standard attack. But at the end of this combo, if he's in the air, if the enemy's in the air and you press down with Torgal, he will launch them back down. And then if you press up, he will hold them in place for you. Really, really important that a lot of people need to learn, so you can do some crazy cool combo extensions with Torgal. And then we have the burst timing. Okay, now it's not important to burst after every single combo hit. Now you can, and you will be maximizing your damage output and being a little bit more consistent in that aspect, but it can be it can be pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I don't even get it right, but this burst timing basically shows you when you will have to hit the range button, so this way you can initiate a burst. And it tells you right when you hit it perfectly, if you see the diamonds explode. If I don't hit it, it won't go off. It'll just do that. But essentially, you can get an idea for what the timing is. As the combos go on, it does get a little bit more of a delay of where you have to hit it. So it starts off fast. But if you're having trouble with your burst timing, definitely come into the lab here and practice that. And it's just all about repetition, right? And eventually it'll just be second nature. You won't even have to think about it. If you use a move and it's on cooldown, see right there, the heat wave is still on cooldown. You could actually turn on recast timers, and it'll make it so that you don't have to worry about that. You could actually just like spam these out, which isn't realistic, but it's really cool if you're trying to practice a combo and you don't want to have to wait for the cooldown to come back or keep going back into the menu to reset it. Battle performance auto reset is the on the right side, the little score that you build up. So you could do like various things like this. And so I got 13,625, but look, it reset when the new enemy spawned in. So there is that. By the way, I just did that. That was the first time I ever did that variation of that combo. This game just flows with you, bro. Like whatever you can think of or want to try out, it f***ing works. And it feels amazing. They have gold on their hands with this combat system, I swear. You can turn that on, you can turn that off if you want. It doesn't matter. Now, enemy aggro will make it so that the enemies will actually attack you. So give it some time. Any minute now, and he will actually swing attack you. I was trying to parry him right there. But essentially, the reason why you would want to have this enemy aggro on is so that you can practice parrying and timing attacks against enemies of different natures. All right, yeah, my parry is a little bit shit against this guy, but whatever. And then you can turn on enemy invincibility, so this way you could just non-stop go in on the enemy. It does not matter, their health will not drop. This is great so that like if you so you don't kill them and essentially have to keep restarting and waiting for a new one to spawn back in, right? And my favorite thing is that you don't have to fight against the one goblin enemy. You can actually select different targets, which is amazing. All varieties of enemies that you've come across, that you've fought against, are accessible here to practice. And it tells you right here what type of enemy they are. This guy's a small melee type of enemy, and the Goblin Weaver is a small range type of enemy. But you could even go further than that and fight against the Gigas, the Wolves, the Hornets, and all various enemies right here. Whatever enemy you're having trouble fighting against and you want to learn their patterns and just get better at, you could actually select them and try it out. For me personally, I have a lot of trouble with the elementals. So we'll pull off an elemental enemy right here, and we'll set them to aggro. And let's say I want to learn how to like parry certain attacks of theirs, right? So there you go. You can actually parry that attack right there. This lets you figure out like what you can actually parry against certain enemies, what you can actually do against them. Like this one right here. You can parry that one, which is really cool. You can parry that attack. And I think they have a charge at you attack. Oh, that one, I was a little too early on that one. Let's do another range Pele. I said Pele. Range parry. And this one right here. You can parry that. This enemy I had a lot of trouble with dealing with. That attack, can I parry that? I have no idea. I'm curious right now. You can even parry with this attack, which is insane. that effect is nasty. But other enemies too. Some people have issues against the Minotaurs, right? And the Minotaur is essentially the same type of setup. You just do this to figure out the parry timing windows and all kinds of different combat stuff, just to get yourself a little bit prepared if you're having trouble with certain things. If you're going for certain challenge runs too. Holy shit, that was... What was that, too early? That seems like it has a very big window. Also, using Burning Blade is really good for parrying because of how active and long the hitbox lingers. So you can do stuff like that. It just makes parrying so much easier. And by the way, this will be mentioned in another video, but it's very important that you guys max these out as quickly as possible, because Burning Blade, for example, at the I'll reset it right now. So Burning Blade at its base, that's how long it takes to recharge it, right? Also, I should mention, I think it's amazing that you can actually just refund your points for exactly what you spent it on and just experiment with different things early on. But I do recommend getting all of these. It's very important to get Clive's base kit all maxed out as quickly as possible. And straight up, it's just, you won't regret it. So for example, with Clive's lunge attack, right? Because it is involving your attack button. And if you hold down your attack button, you do get this Burning Blade to charge up. You can do things like lunge, and while you hold down the lunge, eventually you can use a Burning Blade. But we could actually just amp that shit up. So if you master both of these, you don't even have to master the lunge. You just need to get like Burning Blade mastered out already. But look how fast it charges up right after, right? Pay attention. That is almost instant. That's essentially in the same combo right there. How fast that is. But what's cool about that is that you can basically do stuff like this. It's just so much better. Max these out, guys. You will not regret it. But that is training mode, guys. It is straight up one of the best things they could have ever added into this. I love the fact that we have a burst timer, which is really cool. My favorite thing about this too is the burst timing and the perfect 6, so like you know when to send like Torgal in so he could do like crazy attacks and stuff. I do kind of wish there was a timing update for the parry mechanic. I think that would have been really nice to include in here, but it is what it is. I mean, every enemy is going to be different. All the parry windows are not going to be the same, so I fully understand why that would be the case. It's just so satisfying, man. Just like coming in here and just going ham. Like, look how long he's like basically in that parry stun animation for a while. Like, he's in there for a while. And that is the most important thing in Final Fantasy 16. I think everybody needs to be taking advantage of. Whether you're a seasoned veteran who's amazing and godlike at action games, you could always improve at things. And if you are a newcomer, a beginner to the game, and you're still trying to figure out stuff and learn at your own pace, training mode is friendly in all that aspect. You can use it for defensive purposes to learn how to defend against certain moves, activate parries, precision dodging, and whatnot, depending on enemies that you've come across. And you could also obviously improve your offense in so many great ways. Stay tuned for more insane guides coming your way, guys. I got plenty of stuff cooking at the moment that you do not want to be missing out on. So be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy 16 videos are on the way and you do not want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.